Hey everyone, my name is Vic and welcome back to another Kdenlive 2020 tutorial. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the new interface layouts that were introduced with the release of Kdenlive version 20.08. So I'm just at the Kdenlive website here at the announcement post for version 20.08, and they go through the 5 interface layouts that they introduced. So we've got logging for reviewing your footage, editing to compose your story in the timeline, audio for mixing and adjusting your audio, effects for adjusting effects, color for adjusting color, and color grading. We're going to go through these layouts one by one, and I'm going to also go over the changes that were made. I wanted to do this video because there was a bit of confusion as to when people open up their version of Kdenlive and they look at some of my older tutorials and they say, oh, why does your interface look very different from mine? And that's because when I recorded the older tutorials, they were recorded using an older version of Kdenlive. We're going to go over it to help clarify and to help, put people at ease. Let's get started. So we'll go launch Kdenlive and we're going to do a quick version check. So I do this all the time so that everybody's on the same page. So I'm running version 20.08.2. When you open up Kdenlive, it should pretty much look like this. This is our default layout. You might have a different project setting because I've set mine at a default at 1080p 24 frames per second. And you might have a different amount of video tracks and audio tracks. So as you can see, I've got 3 video tracks and I've got 3 audio tracks. But the rest of it is pretty much the same. So let's go over some of the big changes. So they've combined your project bin, the compositions, effects, clip properties, and undo history into this one tab window. So you can switch between your project bin, your compositions, and effects all in one window here. Whereas before, you would see the effects in the middle window here, and then this window would switch between your clip monitor and your project monitor. Whereas right now, this is our dedicated project monitor, and this middle window is our dedicated clip monitor. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Let's add a few clips, and let's just add in a few videos here. So remember, if you're in the effects tab and you try to add in a video, it's not going to work. So you have to make sure that you go back to your project bin, make sure that's clicked, and now you can add it. And I have it set to actually create proxies automatically. So that's why you see a letter P on there. What I can do is I'm just going to turn off the proxy clip here so that the quality is a little bit nicer. All right, so here are my project videos. You see the clip monitor here, and we can review using the clip monitor. When I switch to a different video file, it changes in the clip monitor. So what's the difference between your clip monitor and your project monitor? So once you drag a video into your project timeline, you can now review it as part of your project. This is now our project monitor. So let's add a couple here to demonstrate the difference. So now when I play this, my project, this is play for my project, you'll see that transition to the different video. So we're playing what we see on the timeline. Whereas in our clip monitor, we're only playing what you've selected in your project bin. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that clarifies a lot of confusion and issues. There you go. Whereas over here, let's say I want to overlay that over there. So when we play this in our project monitor, that's kind of what we see. We see the result of our project. Let's deal with some effects. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to move this down here again. Let's maybe add just some simple effects for demonstration. Let's add maybe a volume here. And I'm just searching. Again, you can switch back to your project bin. You can switch back to your effects bin. And let me search for colorize. Let's do a Technicolor. Again, these are just random effects. When I click on my clip, instead of seeing the clip monitor, I can see the effects applied to that particular clip. So I've got the second clip selected here. So we can see that it's colorized it, and I can turn that on and off to see the difference. So you see the colors are a little bit more vivid. Same thing here. When I click on it, it should give me, there we go, the volume. So because the volume is an audio effect, I have to click onto the audio track. And this is another thing. I know these clips don't have audio, but when you drag a clip into the timeline, so let's add this third one here, Kdenlive will automatically split the video and the audio. It was a decision that was made by the developers. I like it. I don't mind it since I'm splitting the audio and the video all the time anyway. So this just kind of helps me keep track. If this had audio, you would see a waveform in this. If I move this to video 3, you see that audio 3 track is also moved. So it automatically splits it for you. That is the basic default layout of Kdenlive. And hopefully that clarified a lot of questions. Now we can go over the different interfaces that they've introduced: logging, editing, audio, effects, and color. So let's talk about logging first. So logging is supposed to help you with setting the in and out points of your video clips. So let's go over this. We have a 14-second video here, and you may not be interested in the whole 40 seconds of the clip that you brought in. So you might only want, just as a rough example, from here. So we set an in point. So I'm pressing the keyboard I, or you can set the zone in with this. And then the out point, let's say over here. When we drag this to our timeline, it's only going to drag in this section of the video. And here you can enter some project notes. You can see the properties of the file. You can see the frame size. This was recorded in 4K. You can see the frame rates. There's a lot of useful information to help you make a decision on what clips to bring into your project. And you also have the audio mixer here. So if this had sound, you would see this audio mix go up and down. So that's pretty much it for logging. When we go to editing, which we had already talked about, this is where you would bring in your clips. So remember, in our first clip, we had set in our in and out point. So now when I drag this in, so if I drag this into my timeline, it's only going to drag in that portion. So that's useful if you don't want to be doing a lot of cutting and deleting in your timeline. You can do it all using the clip monitor. So you can do it here, you can do it using the logging interface. So either or will work. For me personally, I'm usually just in the editing interface, so just the default here, and I can pretty much get a lot of things done. Let's go into audio. So the audio is supposed to help you mix the tracks. Now we don't have any audio here, so this is going to be a bit weird because it's not going to show anything. What I'll do is I'll go back to audio and I'll actually bring in an older project. So we'll revisit audio in a second here. If you go to effects, you can focus on the effects applied to a video. When we click on this clip here, we added an audio effect. So I had to click on the audio. So you see the volume keyframe. This one has a Technicolor effect. So we can add something else, blur. So we can add a blur on there, and all of the effects are going to show up on here. So it just gives you a bigger space to work with your effects. You can see the timeline a bit bigger, rather than like a smaller window. The workspaces or the interfaces were really designed to help you with the individual tasks that you're doing in your video production. We'll talk about color real quick. I don't do a lot of color grading, so I'm not going to be able to give a lot of input here. But basically, if you're someone that does color grading, this is where you would do a lot of that color grading. So we've got some different windows that are open here. We've got RGB, we've got some paint mode. Again, I don't do any color grading, so I won't be much help. But let's go back and talk about the audio again. So what I'll do is I'll open up a finished project here, which has some audio, and then we can see what that audio interface would look like. Got my project up here, and I apologize when I scrub that the sound is, it's gonna go up and down, but there we go. So there's, an audio track here, there's background music, I captured a bit of audio here as well. So this is where you can see the volume levels. So you can see the volume level for A1, so audio track number 1. So that's at 0 at the moment, but if we move it over here, we can see the volume, and you can do the mixing if you want. I don't know if I mix it here, like let's say for audio track 4, this is my background music. If I pull this down, if when I export, it's actually going to turn the volume down at that point. I don't know, because what I usually do in mixing audio is I usually add a volume effect. So I'll add a volume keyframe, or I will do a volume fade out. So there's a volume fade out in this track, and there's a volume keyframe. Sound is one of my weak points. I really want to improve with sound and mixing. It really adds a lot more to the final result of your video. That's pretty much it, guys. Hope I explained things clearly. So if it has been, give me a like, give me a subscribe, helps keep the channel going, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.